Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. I've got a bunch of DC updates for you today, mostly Zack Snyder's Justice League, because that's kind of like the talk of the town at this moment. But before all that, I have to thank my newest member of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Thank you so much to Gino for joining as a member of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Like I said, once we reach 100 members, and we're 10 more to go, I will be giving out that Man of Steel Collector's Edition tin can, and including this shirt that my wife actually made. It's Ping Pong Flix with the PF, just like Justice League, only on YouTube. So this will be going out with that tin can as well. But if you would like to get that shirt along with others like this one, please go down in Teespring down below and check those out. Okay, let's get into the topics. The first topic of the day is Black Lightning ends with season 4. This is coming from Deadline. It's apparently going to end with season 4 on the CW. Black Lightning, which originated at Fox before migrating to the CW, broke ground as the first DC superhero series with a black lead. Chris Williams stars as the superhero. It is the second DC drama on the CW to end its run. It's this season, along with Supergirl. The network is adding Superman and Lois to the schedule this season and has Wonder Girl in the works, along with Painkiller, which is the spinoff to Black Lightning. Akil said in a statement, when we first started the Black Lightning journey, I knew that Jefferson Pierce and his family of powerful black women would be a unique addition to the superhero genre. The love that Blurs and all comic book fans around the globe have shown this series over the past 3 seasons proved what we imagined. Black people want to see themselves in all their complexities. Thank you to the phenomenal cast, writers, and crew without whom none of this would have been possible. I'm incredibly proud of the work we've been able to do and the moments we've been able to create in bringing DC's first African-American family of superheroes to life for the culture. I'm very grateful to Peter Roth, Warner Bros. TV, Mark Pedowitz, the CW Network, and Greg Berlanti for their partnership and support of my vision and every step of this journey. While season 4 may be the end of one journey, I'm extremely excited to usher in a new chapter and continue collaboration with the CW as we tell the story of Painkiller. So very sad to hear that, as I've never actually watched it yet, but I'm still going through the CW shows, currently like at season 4 of Flash, season 3 of Supergirl, and so on and so forth. So I'm slowly working my way before the season start beginning next year. But I heard it was good, and that's sad to see that along with Supergirl, this is going to be the end of season 4. And I'm wondering what type of plan they have in place for the Arrowverse other than bringing in Wonder Girl and Painkiller. Like, where are we going to see Supergirl next? Where are we going to see Black Lightning next? And I can't help but imagine or even think that it's possible we'll probably get them in a CW version of Justice League. They did show them as part of that Justice League after the whole Crisis event. I would kind of almost think that they would want to capitalize on it instead of just bringing them all together for a little, like, Easter egg or kind of cool fan service thing, but actually bring that to attention and say, look, we're going to get a Justice League series or something. And I think they should do that. And that way they can have Black Lightning and Supergirl back along with Flash and so on and so forth. And that would be quite something. I would think. So let's see what happens with that. That could possibly be where they're going with this when they include Wonder Girl into the mix. They need their own Wonder Woman for that team, and I think it might be a good reason to do so. So hopefully, unfortunately for Black Lightning fans, it ends with season 4 along with Supergirl. All right, now let's get into the movieverse or the multiverse per se. This is actually something that Walt at Uber Kryptonian had noticed. DC is embracing multiverse with Snyderverse. He has apparently gone through a lot of the Facebook banners, all the DC comics, including like Wonder Woman, Batman, Flash, and Aquaman, and Superman, and Justice League, and Trinity, whatever. But he's looking at and he's sharing this kind of a montage of all the different Facebook banners, and it clearly does show that they are really embracing the multiverse, including Snyderverse into it. In fact, having Snyderverse version of those characters at the forefront. As you see on this one, the Trinity, that's definitely Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot and Ben Affleck. And you even see Robert Pattinson in the right side in the background, but they're all included. They're all in the forefront, including Batman. Ben Affleck's in the forefront. And I love that they include the Arkham games. I love that they include the Injustice games, because those are, frankly, some of the best DC games so far, unless they start making some good ones. Superman, you do see Tyler Hoechlin there. I'm kind of missing, like, maybe they should show Brandon Routh in the background just to give us a clue that could still definitely be coming down the pipeline, as in the Kingdom Come version. But I digress. Wonder Woman, you see her there. Aquaman, of course, and Flash. Flash does have Grant Gustin here in the background, so that's awesome. Ezra Miller in the forefront, Injustice on the right, on the left, and of course the comic backgrounds as well. So this is kind of cool just to see that inclusivity and utilizing, knowing full well that Zack Snyder fans are going to tap into that. They love that universe, and they're going to do a lot of that marketing for them by just teasing us with those moments. They know we're bringing attention to them. So I thought that was kind of cool, and to point out that they're currently really truly embracing the Snyderverse now. They're not trying to hide them. They're trying to push it away. They're clearly putting it in the forefront. So that's pretty awesome. But there are some interesting details that came out today in certain scoopers in the world, and one of them has come out and frankly just said pretty much that there is going to be no Green Lantern in Zack Snyder's Justice League. No Green Lantern in Zack Snyder's Justice League? What's going on? I mean, there was a ton of different people saying, okay, Sam Benjamin is going to be Green Lantern. Okay, Ryan Reynolds is going to be Green Lantern. Dan Breuer is going to be Green Lantern. There's going to be a Jon Stewart and a Hal Jordan. There's going to be alien Green Lanterns, and there's going to be Tomar Ray and Nikilawa, so on and so forth. It's quite a big puzzle piece in Zack Snyder's Justice League. It clearly drives a lot of interest in trying to find out, is there going to be a Green Lantern? Despite, Zack Snyder has said on Vero that he's tempted to show us Green Lantern, or he's saying that his Green Lantern is at another location. Is he referring to Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, or is he referring to Zack Snyder's Justice League 1? Yes, there's the Green Lantern symbol on the shirt, but, 7 members of Justice League, it could have just been, Martian Manhunter being the 7th member. You're right. So Grace Randolph had put this out today, and it's in conjunction with that whole Deadpool 3 news. That Deadpool 3, Marvel and Ryan Reynolds are tapped the Molyneux sisters to pen the sequel. So there's getting some traction with the Deadpool 3 Ryan Reynolds. And so there's a lot of movement with that. And she's very curious to see if Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Feige to do something together. It'll be quite the team up. I'm happy for Ryan Reynolds, but I hope he gets to do the rated R version, the way Deadpool should be shown. I don't want that to be dumbed down PG-13. Deadpool works fantastic and fabulously as a rated R feature. So hopefully Ryan Reynolds gets to do that. But she did add some more on the bottom where she says, as for Green Lantern, I'm hearing that Reynolds is unfortunately just really too busy. So no Green Lantern in Snyder Cut, but another hero will fill that spot. But it's all good, and Reynolds has been really supportive. We continue to stand Ryan and Zack Hollywood Mavericks. She also clarifies a little bit further. She says, to clarify regarding Green Lantern Snyder Cut, there was a Green Lantern scene with Batman where the Batman half was already shot. There was talk of completing that scene maybe with Ryan Reynolds. It didn't pan out, so no current Green Lantern in the movie. You're getting a ton of other cool stuff as well. So that's where we're at in terms of Green Lantern, at least according to Grace Randolph. Now, that may seem familiar to you because Dave the Film Junkie has said that he has learned that there are probably no Green Lantern in the Snyder Cut and Zack Snyder's Justice League at all. And I'm wondering, okay, maybe they're saving it for season 2. We're going to have like a hint of it or something, maybe a thing about it, and then we're going to get it in season 2. So, and there's still some people that saying that Sam Benjamin is still going to be Green Lantern. They're, Maybe some TPZ members even hinting that, there's still a Green Lantern possibly in the Snyder Cut. So one of the biggest mysteries I've got that does not, aside from Supergirl possibly being the Snyder Cut, is the role of Green Lantern. Who is going to be Green Lantern? Where is he going to be in it? How much of he's going to be in the Snyder Cut? And will we finally know once and for all, and I think we do, when the Snyder Cut comes out, who will be Zack Snyder's Green Lantern? I'm very excited. I don't care who it's going to be. I'm just fascinated and excited to know that all this conversation, and Zack likes it too. Zack loves when we have all these discussions and speculations, and it just really drives interest towards the Snyder Cut. The mystery of it all. It's like a mystery box, and we really want to open it. And that Christmas present of who's all are these different characters and who's going to be in it. It's amazing, and I can't wait to find out. This is exciting. Please keep discussing. I think this is an incredible way to drive interest towards the Snyder Cut. Not like it needed to, because the Snyder Cut itself is such an intriguing concept, and it's the biggest DC thing that's going to come out next year. You better believe it. All right. So, but another person's kind of hinting at Zack Snyder's Justice League maybe is Jared Leto. And I want to share with you this little video here that he put out just recently, and it could give you an idea of what Joker is supposed to look like. So check this out.
Happening in 2021, of course, there's Morbius, there's some other surprises in store.
So obviously we're not sure what other surprises are in store, but come on. He shot for Zack Snyder's Justice League. He's going to be the Joker in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and he pretty much gave it away. That's this next surprise for next year. But also, looking at this video now, this is a very current video. That's him in long hair, possibly even the beard and mustache. Is Zack Snyder's Justice League's version of Joker, especially probably the nightmare version of Joker, going to look essentially like that? Long hair, beard, and mustache. That'll be quite something to see, and I can't wait to see it. I thought maybe Jared would put it out for us United, but it sounds like he's holding back. It sounds like he can't even say. So there are certain things that are still being kept secret involved in this matter of the Joker in Zack Snyder's Justice League. But if you wanted to get an idea of what he could possibly look like, I challenge you to start editing this picture, his video, and make him look like Joker. That's probably the best bet you'll get in what Joker will probably look like in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, a lot of people are wondering about the other cast of characters that are going to be in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and one of them is Lois Lane. Did she do reshoots or additional photography? I'm not sure, but Sean O'Connell, who's writing that book, released the Snyder Cut book, has finally actually got to interview Amy Adams, and this is what she thinks about the Snyder Cut.
Today, I finished my first book. It's called Release the Snyder Cut. All about the movement to get Zack's movie released.
Is that really your book?
That's seriously my book. This is the final manuscript with all the notes.
Okay, I need to read that because I know nothing about this.
It's coming out.
Well, I know it's coming out. I do know that. But yeah. I had no idea there was a movement.
Oh, a whole movement, and they raise a ton of money for suicide prevention, and it's truly fabulous. Is it bizarre to be thinking about a movie that you thought you were done with 4 years ago?
I'm looking forward to seeing what the Snyder Cut looks like. I mean, I knew what the script was, and so I'm curious to see if it stays true to the script or if we've expanded the universe a little bit. But I'm glad Zack's getting a final cut in there. That'll be fun.
I'm so looking forward to seeing it. I'll get you a copy of the book, I promise.
Thank you. I'm fascinated with that, how sort of this internet movement happened.
It's been amazing.
So yeah, that was Amy Adams' reaction to the Snyder Cut. It is interesting that she hasn't heard about it. Maybe she did, but it doesn't seem like she's on social media that much. I think she just started her Instagram page not too long ago during the pandemic, so I can totally tell that's probably where it went. But she's happy for it. She's intrigued by it. I love her comments about she's wondering if Zack could actually expand the universe universe, meaning that script that you read definitely had expand the universe, that it was supposed to go on further. So she definitely knows where her character is headed. Possibly, something happens to her. I don't know. Cause something. Don't know, but she does genuinely intrigued and excited about the Snyder Cut. She's happy for Zack, and I think we could be happy for Zack as well. Absolutely. So this is cool to finally hear Lois Lane's words, her thoughts, and her reaction to the Snyder Cut. So thank you so much to Sean O'Connell. Now, it's interesting where we're headed with Zack Snyder's Justice League now. It is a movie. It is a new movie. And a lot of people are wondering, is it going to be the typical movie rollout where they'll have press junkets, where they'll get to interview Zack and do things like that? I mean, we kind of did in a sort of way. And I want to bring up John Aaron Garza, little article here from Real Anarchy, where he says Zack Snyder is reverse engineering the press cycle in 2020. It's a fantastic read, and I encourage you to take a look at it. And it's awesome to hear his thoughts on this matter. And I never actually thought about it that way, but it makes perfect sense, right? Because there was a lot of negativity in Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, with her. A lot of these different bloggers became the press themselves, and they're driving their own opinions about just putting down Zack Snyder's movies and things like that. And the power of the fans around us, even though these movies made bonker millions and millions of dollars, probably even more than some of the highly praised comic book movie DC movies that came out recently, it's interesting to see that the press themselves drove a lot of that negativity and got people to come on a negative bandwagon towards these films when it really wasn't that negative, right? Or maybe not even at all. And it kind of drove the attention and changed the narrative in a way from something positive to something negative. But recently, a lot of voices have came up. Whether it's about other blogs, other sites, YouTubers, podcasters, you name it, that we're starting to come to be passionate about Zack Snyder's work, loving what Zack Snyder had done with the DCEU, and giving our positive voices, lending our positive voices to that as well, to the movement as well, and the Release the Snyder Cut movement. And so now that the movie's coming out, in a sense, John Aaron is trying to say that he's kind of giving out that press junket right now, whether it's Grace Randolph, whether it's Dave the Film Junkie, the League of Mayhem, myself, and I never really thought of myself as being a press in any fashion. I'm just a fan, but we are definitely lending our positive voices and positive, reactions into the open, into the public state, into the media, into the general audience. And so I thought that was an interesting read, and I really liked this last portion of that article. And now more people are involved with live streams and podcasts than ever before due to COVID-19. While others are barely trying to get started with their interviews and video quality, the rest of us has been preparing for all of this for 3+ years. In light of how bad the media treated Zack Snyder all these years, they were the very reason for a lot of us doing what we do now. And it's the reason we're the ones getting the opportunity to sit down with Zack and talk with him. And this is a cool quote. I cannot say this Harry Lennox fashion, so forgive me, but John Aaron Garza wrote this. So I want the other blogs and film sites to remember, in all the years to come, in your most private moments, I want you to remember our hand at your site's throat. I want you to remember the men and women who beat you, basically beating their negativity with our positivity. And I thought that was such an awesome article, and I encourage you to read it. In fact, you know who else read it and actually shared it? Zack Snyder himself. He gave out this comment. Well, to turn this off. He gave out this comment saying, "That's awesome, bro," to John Aaron Garza. And then he also liked the article as how he shared it on his Vero itself. Nice. So awesome. Congratulations, John. That was an incredible article, and you deserve that recognition very much. The last few lines, though, that was like, damn, dude. You didn't have to go that hard, but you did, and I'm glad you did. Another article that came out today, and it was really another article that came out today, and it is another pro Snyder content from Stephen Colbert. He put on Screen Rant that Zack Snyder, to me, this article reads, has become Warner Brothers' biggest asset. They tried to get rid of him, but Zack Snyder is back with multiple DC movies coming to HBO Max, making him the franchise's future once more. Now, within the article, and I encourage you to read it, it tells you about kind of the beginnings of how Zack Snyder had started making DC movies, the box office money and things like that. And then when he left, like Aquaman is still essentially kind of part of that Snyderverse because he is executive. Him and Deborah are executive produced that. And then you got into Birds of Prey, Shazam, which was profitable, but it was below expectations in terms of the box office. Joker being the other one that was a different type of movie. But that ended up doing really well, despite the studio at that time not actually putting a lot of faith in it, sharing the profits to 2 other companies as well. So bad moves on all different fronts, right? So Zack Snyder was actually, became Warner Brothers' biggest asset. COVID-19 hit. Everything gets pushed back. Everything gets delayed. What is the biggest movie or miniseries that's coming out next year? Zack Snyder's Justice League. What everybody's been talking about. And when DC Fandom came, everybody was talking about Justice League. Yeah, I know. I get there's a lot of people talking 1984, the Batman, and the Suicide Squad. But a lot of the tension, a lot of the trending, a lot of all the fascination and came actually for Zack Snyder's Justice League. It became something of value, and it always has. They just didn't see it, that they had something. They had the Snyderverse right in front of their faces, an actual vision, an actual plan, while right now Warner Bros. Is just scrambling. What the hell are we going to do with the theatrical things? So I think at the end of the day, Zack Snyder has essentially became Warner Brothers' biggest asset. And this is what Stephen Colbert is trying to, the message he's trying to pull out of here. But I'm going to read you this passage in this article. It was a long and winding road to get to this point, and things are sure to be in flux for some time to come. But one thing's for sure, and it's that Zack Snyder is once again, at least for now, the focal point of the DCEU. Whether or not he hits it big enough to get back in the driver's seat long term remains to be seen. But Warner Bros.' efforts to get rid of Snyder weren't nearly as successful as they hoped. And now that he's back, he might be just the man they need. That's right. Zack Snyder is the hero that Warner Brothers doesn't deserve, but he is the one they absolutely need right now. So awesome article, Stephen Colbert. Please, I'll link this in the description below. And thank you so much, brother. That was a good article. All right. And that is it for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Many of you are asking if I'm ever going to tell you how I guess landed the Zack Snyder interview. I'm thinking I'm going to give that to the members. So there will be a member video out, probably this weekend, kind of just telling you how I was able to get in touch with Zack Snyder. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. All right, but let's get into the Ping Pong Flix members questions right now. The first question I see here is from Mr. Stokes channel. Hi, Chris. First of all, I wanted to send you a massive congratulations on your interview with Zack Snyder. Really enjoyed your interview. Shared this via my Facebook. Well, thanks so much. I was proud to call myself a Ping Pong Flix member. If one day I could grow my channel to anything like yours, then I'll be happy. Man, as a keyword I use on my channel, progression. And here is my question, or more of a statement to blow your mind with the upcoming The Flash movie. We will see different variations of Batman through the multiverse as The Flash takes us through this journey. How insane would it be? Because even though we got Ben Affleck signed on to feature, but we don't know how big or small his role will be, hoping a decent amount, me too. What about if through the Speed Force, he pushes 2 points of time together and teases in one scene two Batmans, Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton, or Ben Affleck, Christian Bale, or even Robert Pattinson into the mix? Highly doubtful, but then again, nothing is impossible. This part should blow your mind. All of them, Batman, Keaton, Affleck, Bale, Pattinson together in one scene. I'll get the mop and bucket to clean up because your mind is blown. Stokes inspiration from your famous tinfoil hat from this trail of thought, of course. Tinfoil hat. And the next guest I want to see on your show is Ben Affleck. Zack Snyder's in the bag. Mr. Affleck is next. Go on, Chris. You're the F man. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Stokes, and for your kind words. Definitely, yeah. If they can get Batman, I mean, having Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton in the Flash movie just kind of blew up all sorts of possibilities that could happen in this movie. Not only could get multiple Batmans, we can get multiple Supermans. I mean, the sky's the limit at that point once you break open the multiverse. And to land that message home in some fashion, you would have to show multiple characters in order to really have the general audience, the mainstream audience, really grasp the concept of the multiverse, I think. And so I don't know if they're going to have a lot of those characters, but definitely Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton at this point. And even those two together, or even just being in the same movie, is quite awesome and quite fascinating. And I can't wait to see what other surprises, what other characters will show up in this, and what other, recent or past versions of these characters will show up. So I'm truly excited for it. But thank you so much, Mr. Stoltz, for those comments and question. Hardbone Entertainment, Mr. Eric Blake. I just had a thought. Considering how Alan Scott is based in the 1940s, imagine his story linking in some way to the story of John Jones, aka Cal Swanwick. The Martian Manhunter lands on Earth near Roswell, New Mexico. The Roswell aliens, his partner who dies in the crash of their ship, and Scott helps John Jones, Swanwick, to adjust and adapt to a new life on Earth. I like that. I like trying to loop that in. I don't know. I don't think I think Greg Berlanti's Green Lantern is not going to have anything to do with Zack Snyder's Justice League. So, that it is what it is. But if they were to do something like that, then yeah, that could definitely work. I actually don't know when the Roswell incident happened. Was it the 1940s? I have no idea. But if we take Martian Manhunter, if I take that part out of your comment, I'd say if they wanted to do some type of prequel or spin-off, whether it's live action or animated, I've always said that is a great way to bring in the Martian Manhunter story. Let's find out how John Jones came onto Earth, how it became Swanwick, have that little bit of story. We kind of know how in that kind of version which is very similar to Supergirl, how that happened. But I'm interested to see how that happens, how Martian Manhunter ends up on Earth and becomes Swanwick in the Snyderverse. Lego Dinosaur, Wonder Woman doesn't fly. She can ride wind currents. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if she could fly or not, and we'll have to wait and see. But Zack Snyder did, on Vero said that she does eventually fly. That's where she's supposed to head. So I can totally see that she's just, riding the wind currents within the movie as well. So, but I can't wait to see her fly. Francis Louis Rayla. Louis Rayla, I think and wish that Snyder and HBO Max partnership is not a one-time deal. HBO Max needs something that will pull in regular subscriptions, and here where Snyder comes in. Snyder definitely has a strong fan base. During pre-November 2019 era, we were deemed as a small movement, but we were able to shake Warner Brothers and AT&T. They do not care about our passion. They were astounded by the financial potential they can exploit from us. Free marketing and actual subscription. Exactly. Absolutely. Zack Snyder's Justice League is definitely the biggest thing HBO Max offers in the near future. Bigger than Wonder Woman 1984 and Friends Reunion. It just needs to be epic, which we are all sure it is. Will Warner Max going to throw these money away after Zack Snyder's Justice League? Of course not. If Zack putting inklings of future Snyderverse, I am sure that 100% of us are willing to pay for more money for AT&T, Mabuhay, from the Philippines. Well, thank you so much, Francis. Yeah, I agree. I mean, a long time, and my colleagues agree as well, that they're putting a lot of investment within Zack Snyder's Justice League. We don't think it's a one and done, and it does seem apparent that Zack Snyder doesn't want to reveal that it's more than just one. So we'll have to wait and see. Let's concentrate on getting Zack Snyder's Justice League in 2021 as successful as it could possibly be. So let's concentrate on that for now. Mike G, my cousin David voicing Batman. Really? Whoa, that's awesome. Is he really your cousin, Mike? That's awesome. I'm so glad for them. That's awesome. David Feldman. I believe Ben Affleck is working on a way back to tell his story of Batman. Just because in Zack's interview, he always mentioned Ben and his role as Batman. Yeah, I think he is definitely working his way into, and I would love, I don't know if what he's doing, if he's essentially going to do that or not, but I would absolutely love to see that story. What Jay Oliva says, the best screenplay of Batman he's ever read. I want to see that. I want to watch that. So please, hopefully Ben Affleck, if you're listening, you're not, but please, if you have the heart within you, please make that Batman movie some way or another. Geek Haven, Jan 86. Chris, I keep forgetting to congratulate you on having that interview with Zack Snyder. Thank you so much. Question for you. Is it just me, or in the new Batman picture posted by Ben Affleck, do I see Darkseid in the background? Or do you think this is a case of seeing Jesus in my toast? Also, much appreciation for answering my questions, as you are the main man, as Lobo would say, regarding anything DC related. Something I would like to clarify regarding my Christopher Reeve comment on the Henry Cavill situation, that was in no way me knocking that interpretation of the character. I still love it very much as well, and I hope to see more of Brandon Routh. It's just that I'm sure you understand it feels very out of place, at least for diehard Snyderverse fans are concerned. Putting in my order for the Darkseid shirt today. Hopefully I still have time to do it. Hashtag procrastination. I think you still have time to do it. There's still a time to do that, so go ahead, get that Darkseid shirt and help out in the AFSP. Yeah, no, I don't care if you don't like Christopher Reeve or you do like Christopher or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Everybody has their own subjective views on characters as well. So yeah, you understand that you can like certain things and others can like certain things as well. I'm all up for that. It's, I keep an open mind in terms of that, and we don't all have to like the same thing. So I totally understand that. I'm not, no negativity towards that at all. So, but the Darkseid in the background, I'm gonna have to look at that. Let's bring it up. I don't see Darkseid at all. Yeah, I don't see anything. I know this is his shadow. He's probably backed up against the wall, and that's just the light coming down. I don't see Darkseid at all, unless you're talking about this, but I think that's just the wall. Yeah, I don't see Darkseid at all. So I don't think Darkseid is in this moment. I think Darkseid appears at the end of this whole battle. Just the boom tube opens up in some fashion. Is there a tussle? I have no idea. But yeah, not seeing him. But thanks for the question anyway and comment. I really appreciate that. It's and I don't blame you, because Zack Snyder, all those photos and stuff, we really just get a magnifying glass all the time to look at what's behind him, what's over there and stuff. I don't blame you at all, and definitely, but I can't wait to see Darkseid, if that's any consolation. The Rebel Prince, just curious here, Chris, how far into the all Arrowverse shows have you gotten? I think I may have given a mild spoiler in my last comment. I just want to know where you're at with each show, so I know what seasons not to talk about. Oh, I mean, no problem with spoilers in any case. I don't mind that at all. It's an older shows, so I don't worry if it's spoiled at all. But Arrowverse, not too much into Green Arrow at all. I am in Flash. I'm on season 4, episode 5. Supergirl is season 3, episode 4 or 5 or something like that. I know it's before she turns into rain. And then that's it. Legends tomorrow I haven't really touched. And the other shows I haven't touched. I need to touch them. Yes, I need to not touch them. I need to watch them. But it definitely I need to get to that. But that's the extent I'm at. But when it gets to the crossovers, I do kind of a little bit of skipping. Like once it gets to a crossover, or I know it's going to get to a crossover, I immediately go back and watch other shows in order to catch up, to get crossover, just to catch up to that moment. Or when that moment happens and it tells you, okay, watch the next episode on so and so forth series on Arrow or Legends, then I do that. I just, even though I don't know a lot of the characters that are in there, what's going on and things like that, I just watch it to get the context of that crossover event, whether it's Crisis, the upcoming Crisis I'm going to watch again, and or the one before with the Dominators in there. So there is some stuff like that happening, but I'm trying to juggle it, so bear with me. But don't worry about spoilers at all. To me, the dissolution of Warner Max is foreboding. At least, okay, the Snyder Cut is fine, safe, but I'm talking about the future. Don't you folks remember before any announcement, Max was our gleaming hope for the future, that the old days were gone and current corruption had ended or was soon ending? Now, not so sure. It seems like Palpatine has won, and we're also distracted and complicit because we've had our hard-won prize. I get the concern because of the whole Warner Brothers deal, but with Jason Kilar and just people I've talked to, they said not to worry. So, and I trust their word, because, it has gotten me this far essentially, but, they said not to worry. I'm not going to worry right now. I was waiting for the Snyder Cut, but I might have to get to HBO Max early. I still plan on going to the premiere in theaters, but with Max, my mother and brother can watch 84 from the comfort of our home, as well as demonstration of good faith. I like it, Dobie. Yeah, definitely. If it's safe for you and to go to the theaters, or if there's an open theater, please go and support it that fashion. Ultimately, it's your choice, and for anybody else who's listening as well. Dobie, I think this is the last one because I think I talked about this one. How do you stay on top of so much scattered DC news? Do people send you DMs, or is it most of them from your own scouring the interwebs? I kind of scour Twitter. Twitter is probably the first area where you find news popping up. Like a lot of these trades and sites and blogs, they launch it on Twitter first. Or, there are people who do send me DMs, and I'm like, I either find that, oh, that's interesting, or that's not interesting. But that's how I cover it. And all day, I just bookmark, and maybe I ever retweet it if it's really interesting that people should know about now, or I'm really excited about. But a lot of times, if I see something DC related in any fashion, I just bookmark it. At the end of the day, towards nighttime, like right now, I look through the bookmarks, see what I can put together in part of the show. There's some stuff that are like, well, that's not really necessary, or this is not really that interesting. And then I just try to put it all together and bring out the headline versions of the said show and put that out as the thumbnail, or put that out as the title. It's very limited because the title, you can only say so much. So, and the thumbnail, of course, you can only put so much. So I tried to work that in together, but it's fun. I love it. I absolutely love keeping up to date, staying on top of all the DC news, and it's my joy to try to bring you up to date as well. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much, Dobie, for those questions and comments. All right, that is it for tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Like I said, if you absolutely love this daily dose of DC content in movies, shows, and video games, please click the like button. Hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell. Keep this hot dog light on. Get a t-shirt down, Teespring down below, and I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.